Well, folks, we saw some amazing tennis today. From Denis Shapovalov and Novak Djokovic, what an amazing tight three-set match. That was amazing. We saw Shapovalov play some of his best tennis. We saw Djokovic match that and then some with his best defense and just grit to win. We saw Matteo Berrettini, the Italian stallion, give Hubert Hurkacz back the bagel that he gave to Federer in his match in their semifinal today. Berrettini going in to the final to face Djokovic, the ultimate test in tennis right now. Can Berrettini beat him with his serve and his forehand? Can Djokovic step up and do it again to get his 20th slam matching Federer Nadal? We'll see. But let's get into what happened today and the matchup for Sunday in this episode of The Slice, presented by Rally Tennis at this year's Wimbledon 2021. Well, folks, thanks for tuning back into The Slice and our continued coverage of Wimbledon 2021. If you haven't yet subscribed, if you're new here, hello, I'm Stephen Boughton, the host and founder of The Slice. And our own website, theslicetennis.com, we have some amazing articles coming out all the time. So make sure you checkmark it, put it in your bookmarks. One of our reporters, actually, Patrick Stenson, has been on the ground at Wimbledon. This is from a couple days ago. He was on the ground while Federer lost at center court, and this was the reaction from Henman Hill that he was there for. Yeah, some great articles from people on the ground in tennis on theslicetennis.com. Thanks for checking it out. Also, what you're going to want to check out is Rally Tennis, or you should, because it's an amazing app where you can find local players in your area. You can connect up with them through the leagues, and then you can compete in playoffs to really just show who's boss in your area. Maybe you've been practicing with like the same two people for the last 2 years, but you want to find new players to play with, but you don't want to join an expensive country club. That's kind of the idea. There's also ways like to get access to video lessons on there and new equipment through Tennis Warehouse. So download the app below, and thank you, Rally Tennis, for being our presenting sponsor at this year's 2021 Wimbledon. Now, Djokovic, Shapovalov, what a match it was. 3 sets, 3 very tight sets that each could have gone a different way. Djokovic summed this match up basically perfectly in his post-match conference, where he said that, for the first couple sets, Shapovalov was the better player. He was serving for the first set. He was kind of ahead. He had more break chances in the second set. But in the big moments, Djokovic says, quote, I held my nerve better than he did. And is that not just the story of Djokovic versus the next-gen players in these Grand Slam finals? Basically, Djokovic is good enough to get through with his B or B-plus game because if his opponent's playing A-plus like Shapovalov was for most of today, you can't do that through an entire match. Or you can if you're like maybe Wawrinka back in 2016 U.S. Open, but it's hard to do. So today was just another example of why Djokovic is great, because he can grit down and just fight and just refuse to lose in these big points. And that's really what it does. So it was hard to watch today from a Canadian cheering for Shapovalov, because I thought he brought what he had to bring to win this match. But it was also amazing to watch because I was so proud of the way that he played. He played huge. He played his style. And he made Djokovic give up the center of the ring, so to speak, at the beginning of this match, because I think Djokovic just didn't have the power to go fist-to-fist with him. So he kind of took the defensive edge right from the start. And like Djokovic said, Shapovalov was serving for it in the first set. But this is kind of classic how it goes. Djokovic will bring his B-plus level, and Shapovalov's playing as A the entire way. And as the match goes on and gets to the tight points, it's not that the GOATs raise their level always, even though sometimes they do. They usually just keep it steady, and that A level from today, Shapovalov, for example, drops. And then just for the ending crucial moment of the set, Djokovic is playing better. And that basically happened for the first 2 sets today, which is unbelievable to see. What was also amazing to see was how well Shapovalov was serving, hitting his forehands. The stats do not do this match justice, because if you look at them, I think it only gave Shapovalov like less than 10 aces. But so many of his serves was just touched by Djokovic. He was having a really hard time returning. I think in the first 2 sets, he had 9 games where Shapovalov held to love, which never happens against Djokovic. So Shapovalov played his absolute game today that he needed to play. He just couldn't convert on a couple big moments, like that 30-30, 5-4 when he was serving for it. The ball came over, Djokovic just got it over one more time. He could have headbutted the ball in and won the match and won the point, which would have given him a set point. But he hits an inexcusable miss, which he just can't do. It's kind of similar to what Tsitsipas was doing at the end of their match in France So yeah, just classic. The veteran versus the Karate Kid, the bandana, Shapovalov. Who's going to do it? Djokovic outlasts him with some amazing defense as well. Like I said, he gave up the middle of the ring where Shapovalov was being the aggressor and probably playing for them better tennis. But Djokovic showed why he's won so many matches against guys like Nadal and Federer who have like the big weapons. Djokovic just used that power and was able to just fight and get the points when he needed them and displayed some amazing grass court defense. Just full court-to-court coverage, getting the lobs up, getting them to drop on the baseline. It's just insane, and that's why Djokovic is where he is, chasing history now, trying to go for number 20 at this year's Wimbledon. But huge congrats to Shapovalov. He played amazing. He played bravely, and I loved seeing it that he was upset leaving the court. He was crying because I feel like he actually believed that he could win. Rather, he didn't want to just come out there and be like, I put in a good effort versus one of the GOATs. He actually felt like he had the game to win, which I think he showed that he did. And he messed up in some certain areas right at the end, and he got tight, and he felt super disappointed about that. But he could obviously be super proud and have a lot to bring away from this. Djokovic is going to be elated that he got through basically with his B-plus level through the last 3 rounds. Even though I say B-plus like today, he did play very well to get through this in 3 sets. Like, it's not like he was playing horribly. Shapovalov was just playing amazing, and it was tough for Djokovic to handle. So now Djokovic goes into play Berrettini, who is looking unstoppable, like I said. Just get these stats through you for a second. 18 aces, 60 winners, and this is against Hubert Hurkacz, who is amazing, and who is long and tall and gets everything back and returns super well. 18 aces, 60 winners, only 18 unforced errors. That's scary stats from Matteo Berrettini. So against Djokovic, the matchup is similar with Shapovalov because Berrettini's just got bigger weapons. He's got an even bigger first serve, even a bigger forehand, I would say. But he doesn't do some other things as well as Shapovalov, like move. But he's bigger, so he kind of covers the court in that way. But basically, it's the strategy for Matteo has to be to play his game. So many times we see in the finals when the underdogs are playing, they feel like they have to do extra, especially against Djokovic. They're like, oh, if I get an open shot, I have to overthink this, so maybe I'll go back behind him, cut it close. I would say to Matteo, obviously this is my opinion, but just don't cut it close. Trust your serve, trust your forehand, trust your slice. It's good. When you have a big shot to go for, hit for a big target and just hit it because your forehand is good enough to get through the court, even against Djokovic. And for Djokovic, I know you can win this matchup with your B-plus game, but I wouldn't advise bringing it. I'd say you want to bring your A game because Matteo Berrettini could get on a heater and it could be hard to touch. So, Shapovalov went 1 for 11 in break points today. That might not happen against Berrettini, and then that might be a totally different story to these last matches. So Djokovic has got to play well. He's got to try and control the points when they're in a rally. Obviously, he can do that. He's got to really get the ball to Berrettini's backhand. He's got to serve well. Hasn't served as good these last couple rounds as he did at the beginning of the tournament. And then Berrettini's just going to have to play the match of his life if he wants to win. He's going to have to stay mentally in it, not crack like Shapovalov did a little bit under pressure today, and he's going to have to get it done. Prediction for the match, obviously, is Djokovic in 4. I think Berrettini's going to get a set because it's hard to break him, and I'm giving respect to that. Obviously, Djokovic could just win in 3 tight sets again like we saw today, but also Berrettini could win in 4 or 5. You never know. That's why we play these matches. It looks like Djokovic is going to have basically a fairly easy route to his 20th slam, but we have to play the match to see. You never know. Berrettini's got a solid puncher's chance. Djokovic is the undisputed favorite with a lot of pressure on him to get to 20, boost and keep going for the Grand Slam, the potential Golden Slam of 2021. So much riding on the line for both players. I just hope for an amazing match. I got Djokovic in 4. Who do you got? Let me know in the comment section below, and we will get after it together here on The Slice.